Now from Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
Welcome into Sports Tonight. I am Bailey Burmaster alongside Ellie Parker for another edition. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the Braves. Not a great West Coast trip, but they're back at home tonight. The Atlanta Vibe also has some things going on as they get ready for playoffs. WNBA with a big announcement today that kind of has been a long time coming. And then we're going to circle back to Kirk because is he a little unhappy with the Falcons after some things that have happened? We will see. Let's start with the Braves, Ellie. They went on the West Coast trip. They went 1-6 against not only the Mariners, but
swept by the Dodgers.
Correct. Shohei and the Dodgers got swept. Not great. Big series you probably wanted to win. However, the season is so long. The season is young. So we'll give it some time. It doesn't help that it's the Phillies that are red hot right now. They've won 9 of their last 10. Best team in baseball. So we will have to see how things progress. It's a 2-game series against the Red Sox before they head back on the road, I believe, to face the Mets. But they did talk before first pitch today, so let's head to some sound and hear from Snit and the gang.
The biggest thing, just getting calmed down and getting back right. But I guess it's something that's not uncommon with guys that are coming back from Tommy John. I know he came in yesterday on the off day to George, and said that it was bothering him. So I think it's just something that's probably come over time and use.
Kind of nice to go out there in the off season and get the depth that you did, and bring in a guy like Kerr and have guys like that available.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know that you can ever have too much depth. That's for sure, because we always end tapping into the majority of them, and Ray's been throwing good. And we saw, he's a stuff guy in spring training, and he's done multiple innings, and it's good to have a guy like that in the fold.
You talked about the bats, but you've seen great pitching, not good pitching, great pitching staffs, and you have another one coming in. What are your thoughts on that?
I know it doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. But you know what, we got good hitters, and I saw a lot of positives. I mean, it's always look for that in different individuals and things. And I think it's just one of those things. You have to get through it, and that goes. I've always said that hopefully you're going to do it once or twice. Hopefully, if you can only stay away from this situation one time, you'll be really lucky, because more than likely you're going to have to battle through a situation like this again. Who's that, Austin? No. He's been through. I told him the other day. It's like seems like every year I've ever been with you, I've watched you come through situations like this, and I think guys, you lead by example, and they respect how he goes about it and how even keel he is, and never changes. He's always the same guy when he comes through those doors, and the work ethic and the consistency and what he does is the same every day, regardless of how he's going. And we've seen him go really, really good over his career, and I don't expect this to be any different.
The left side of that infield, do you think your defense is about as good as anybody's?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think all of our infield defense is about as good as it gets. I mean, the plays those guys have made, and all of them, all 4 of those guys, and even Louis and David, when they filled in for Ozzie. I mean, we didn't, it was really, really good then too. But those, those guys, again, talk about consistency of work and how they approach every day is pretty special.
You don't see many guys make that play that RCM made, that have the instincts to make a play like that with a glove.
Well, I mean, I know it's hit me. I just think I've been really pleased with like his range I think feel better than it was last year. I think it's something he worked on in the off season. And the arm's obviously what it is. Austin just keeps blowing me away with what he can do at third base, as well as Ozzie and Matt.
You guys have a few
I don't know. I mean, that's something that Alex and the guys there in the front office, they come up with that. And, just watching guys over time and what they've done, and the fact that Ray's been a multi-inning guy. I mean, he can go 2 or 3 innings. That has a lot to do with it.
You guys take pride in never giving up on youngsters throughout their, rise to the ranks. And now you can see Vaughn Grissom, for the first time since the trade. What was that ride like for him? How do you think he handled everything?
Very well. I mean, I'm just really impressed with the young man. When the first time he came here, and I know it's probably just because he's a baseball rat. I mean, he's one of those guys that was there when it's dark in spring training and starting his day, and I know that probably was something he probably didn't enjoy very much in spring training with the limited work that he got and the injury and all that, because he's a kid that loves to play the game, loves to play baseball, got a lot of energy, got really good bat-to-ball skills, works very hard, and he's going to be here for a long time, be very successful.
The morale? Yeah. I mean, we're good. Obviously, we've had the road series or road stand didn't go the way we wanted to, but we're still a really good team. A really good team. So we just got to, go out there and play our game, not try to do too much. I feel, a little bit offensively, we're pressing a little bit, trying to make things happen, and we just got to go out there and play our game. Got 2 here at home. Just going to try to make the most of it.
Does it boggle your mind then? You're 20-some games into the season, top 5 in the league in batting average, top 8 in runs. Yeah, over this last week or so, just kind of the runs haven't been there when it matters most. Is that just the game right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's we face some good pitching, and I think along with ourselves, everybody expects a lot out of us, and like I said, we do too. So anytime it doesn't show up, we want to get that figured out as quick as possible. But like I said, we're still in a good spot, and just gotta play our game.
Austin, it's early in the year, but it's not very often that you guys aren't in charge of the division. You guys aren't at the top. What's the mindset got to be of this team right now?
The way I look at it, it's early still. We still have a lot of games left. A lot of things can happen. Obviously, we want to be in control of it. We're not right now, so we just gotta go out there and win ball games, and I think we take care of business, and then that right there take care of itself. So I think, like I said, just gotta go out there and take care of business, and not, like I said, not put pressure on ourselves, and I think we'll be all right.
How have you evolved as a leader throughout your career, and how are you applying that to this little downturn? For me personally, I think early on I was a big panic button pusher, and I think as I've grown in the game and have been here for a little bit, I think I've learned not to do that very very quickly, and I think that's something we can't do right now. I think that's something that I try to hone in on as a player. Is just it's a game of failure, understanding that, and take each day for what it's worth.
You guys have had so many 100+ off the bat that just get to the warning track. Do you guys start noticing that and say, man, it could happen again?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Mikey, the last game in LA had 3 that were out, like over 105. It's a crazy game. It is. It'll frustrate you for sure. But I think that's some encouraging news as well. That knowing that we're not far off, and once those balls start to fall, then it trickles down down the lineup. You're able to flip a lineup and get some momentum going. Then I think things start going our way.
You always hear ball flies better in the summer. It's 90 degrees or whatever outside. Do you look at the forecast and say, okay, maybe this will help those warning tracks?
I definitely know when it's warmer here, ball flies. So landing the other night and feeling the hot air was definitely it was on my mind.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Obviously, he's in a different jersey this year, so I know he's still going to go out there and compete, have as much fun as he can against us. He obviously loved it here, so he's gonna try to get us back and get some knocks. So it'll be fun.
Let's talk about the West Coast trip for a second. Obviously, it didn't go the way that you guys wanted it to, but what can the mindset be for this team? You guys have been really close to getting to where you want to be.
I think the thing is we play 162 for a reason, and there's definitely going to be stretches like that for every team. So we can't really hang our heads on it. Pitchers have still been doing what they need to do, so we just got to go out there and help them.
You had a couple, and Austin just mentioned it, that 100 whatever off the bat, and just giving them a warning track. I feel like fans are like banging their head against. Well, how much do you guys notice that when you're hitting it hard, doing everything you need to do, and it's 5 feet short?
Yeah, it's already hard enough to, I guess, hit the ball, and then when you hit it the way you want, and it doesn't really end up in the result you want, it kind of just, I don't know, it doesn't really defeat you, but you still feel like you did something, but you also want to get something out of it and put some runs on the board. And then when they start to stack up on top of each other, starts to feel a little crazy. But, yeah, we all just got to keep swinging it. It'll eventually fall for us. We know we have a good offense, so we keep swinging it the way we are, then it'll eventually fall.
What are your thoughts on seeing great pitching? Dodgers, 9th in ERA, Seattle, 2nd ERA, Boston, number 1 in ERA.
Yeah, I think the last 5 series we played, we faced some of the top pitching in the league, so I guess that's another thing that goes into account. I feel like we still did a good job of putting the ball in play, and they were just able to get out. So got to just keep swinging it, like I said, and I guess find ways to get on and get runs.
Okay, so we'll see what happens tonight against the Red Sox. Let's keep it pushing. We're going to talk about Kirk Cousins. Ellie, you want to tee us up here?
So, what were the Falcons doing? Kirk Cousins, according to a report by Sports Illustrated, left Minnesota, precisely because they were open about their desire to draft a quarterback in the first round. Oh, my.
And then the Falcons went and drafted a quarterback in the first round. I was laughing at this, Ellie, because you remember how Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot went about it saying, hey, we're doing the Green Bay Packers model.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like to a T because, I do believe back then when I covered the Packers, they said that they had warned Aaron Rodgers they might take a quarterback. Now, they did not tell him it would be in the first round or that they would trade up to get a quarterback. So, I think they definitely took the Green Bay Packer model. I also will say this. Yes, it's unfair to Kirk to not be upfront about that. Many was. But the reality of the situation
Guy is 35.
Is, what?
Guy is 35.
And you're paying him $1
$200
billion.
million.
Like, come on.
Oh my God! Why are they paying this man so much?
It's the writing is on the wall. So I don't really blame the Falcons that much. Would it been nice because you do believe Kirk Cousins is just a well-rounded individual to give him the heads up. Which it sounded like they gave him the heads up. It just wasn't like they didn't know it was a first rounder, just like the Green Bay situation. But, yeah, I'm sure Kirk was a little bothered, but he's going to move on.
This is my general reaction to it. Whoa. Falcons, baby, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well done. I do love that.
We played a little bit looser here on Sports Tonight, a little bit, we're professional, but a looser operation. Try to have a little bit more fun here.
A little bit of fun. Something that's going to be really fun, Ellie, is that the WNBA just had a huge announcement.
Finally!
Kathy Engelbert, who is the commish for the WNBA, announced that they will be doing a charter for all 12 teams. It's going to cost about $25 million per season for the next 2 years. And they will get that going as soon as possible. I was able to talk to the Dream a little bit. They did say this is happening, and it's happening in real time. They're learning more details as it actually comes out as well. So we'll keep you posted, but this is huge for the WNBA.
This is huge because this whole saga began, 2 or 3 years ago when Joe Tsai started chartering his own flights for the New York Liberty, the WNBA team that he owns. And the WNBA threw a fit because normally, up until this point, 25, 26 years in, WNBA teams fly coach.
Yep.
Because the other owners couldn't afford charter flights. And now we have this new wave of owners coming in who can afford charter flights and are taking advantage of that. And the WNBA was like, and now that is fixed because we're doing what we should have been doing all along, which is chartering these flights.
But I also think it's important to talk about just where the revenue is and where it's headed at this point too. Every single year in the last couple of years, there's been a total increase in viewership for the WNBA, which means there's probably bigger media deals and attention.
That's the expectation. That's why they're doing this. They're expecting a big increase in that media deal.
Correct.
For the next round.
It's really cool to see the women's game get what the men's game is getting. You know, we talked to the Atlanta Dream yesterday during their media day, and all of the girls are fantastic. All of them are excited for this season, and I think it's really going to be fun to see what the potential of this team could be.
Yeah, and we just also learned today that Disney Plus will carry Caitlin Clark's regular season debut. Just straight up, not even the animated thing. Like, they're just going to carry it live.
Love it.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because that's going to get the WNBA even in front of even more eyeballs. And WNBA games are super fun on TV. They're super, super, super fun live. If you get the chance to go out to College Park to see the Dream play, absolutely take that chance. It is going up. I used to live in Chicago. I lived in Chicago during their championship run, went to those playoff games. Mwah. Absolutely great. So fun. Please support these women. They
And don't
deserve
forget,
it.
you can watch The Dream on Peachtree Sports Network and Peachtree TV for 29 of their games starting next Wednesday for their season opener against LA, in LA. So we will have all of those. We got to talk about another successful team. I think it's really funny. This will be a nice little segue for you, Ellie. I talked to a lot of the girls yesterday, and I had some fun Atlanta-based questions. And almost all of the girls said their other favorite Atlanta team is the Atlanta Vibe.
Where's Sean?
Where is Sean?
Where's Sean?
She's working. I don't know if we should call
Dang
her
it.
over. But
if you have watched this show long enough, Sean is basically our volleyball beat reporter. She's normally an anchor. She loves the sport, but we're not going to call her over because she's busy.
She looks like she's busy. But the Vibe are headed to the playoffs. We will actually be out there tomorrow for their practice, and you'll get to hear that from them. So please tune in tomorrow for all the latest on the Vibe. But let's hear from their last regular season game or match where they were able to get the win, and they were preparing for the championships.
All right. I'm still trying to process this one because, yeah, it's a great win, and but it's also a culmination of an entire season, regular season coming to an end. And way back when we were assembling this group, and I mean, these were amongst the first. I mean, when was it? May? Was it April, May? We were talking about this. I mean. And now here we are, it comes full circle, and we have a great regular season and set ourselves up now for a playoff run. And I think there's a couple things I'm pretty proud of is that the consistency that we've had within the team, the camaraderie that they built, the chemistry that they built. Notice I say I'm not saying we, because it's them. That they did this. They chose. They chose to go out there and play really, really well. They practiced like they wanted to play really well, and then they went out and they performed. Columbus had everything to play for. They're fighting for a spot in the playoff, and we have our seed. But as I'm watching them, I can see that losing just isn't an option. They're going to fight and fight and fight, and if they lose after a good fight, then they lose after a good fight. But they're going to put up a good fight. And I thought, in terms of grinding and grit and toughness and making plays, we might have saved the best for the last regular season match, because I thought tonight was pretty awesome.
This question for both the players. What are you most proud of, just piggybacking off of Coach's answer?
I think I'm just really proud of our team chemistry and the willingness to accept whatever role is asked of you. I think in professional sports, sometimes the team doesn't come first. That hasn't been the story at all with our team. Team always comes first, and it's really cool to see the love that each player has for one another, and I'm really proud of that, and it's really special to be a part of. I'm really grateful.
I think I'm really proud of the work that everyone puts in behind the scenes. Obviously, we go out in games and you guys see the finished product, But when we're in practice, like, we put the foot on the gas. Everybody is challenging each other to be better. We're pushing each other. We're talking to each other. We're finding new ways to be better as a team. And so, like, you guys see the product, right? But, like, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. And, like, that's what I'm most proud of. Because, you know, some people in practice, they could be like, I'll go 50, I'll go half. But, like, not us. Like, everybody's going 100% all the time. And it shows. So.
This is for all three of you. How do you approach this longer break that you have from this match to the first playoff? How do you keep things going?
That's going to be very different, I think, for both of them. So I'll let them answer first.
Okay.
Go ahead, Morgan.
Well, I think like Lex just said, like, practice is where we're seeing improvement the most. Like, we push each other every single day. Like, it doesn't matter what side of the net you're on. Like, we're working to get better, 1% better each day, and we hold each other to such a high standard, and the accountability is there. So I'm excited for this training block for us to really push, crank it up another gear, see how well we can play in our practice gym, so that translates over into the playoffs.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah, we sat with them, with the Players Council, a group that was elected by the team to represent the team, and said, how do you want to handle this? And they said, we want to rest, but we want to train. We don't want to take a long break and then come back for 4 days and go play. It's going to be a pretty steady dose of training all the way through, and that's their choice. That's not a coach's dictation. That's a player choice, and I'm proud of them for choosing that. And of course, we wish Morgan's going to spend a little bit of time with the national team here, and we're proud of her for being able to do that, and we're proud that she's on our team and she represents Atlanta and our franchise. So good luck out there. But yeah, as a team, I'm proud of. They had a choice after 24 long matches, 16, 17, 18 weeks of the season. I mean, they could have said, I really would like a pillow and a bed for about a week. And they said, well, we'll take that, but just for a few days, and we're going to get back to work. So that's the plan. We're going to take a few days, let our bodies recover. Each of them have their own recovery routines that they'll go through religiously. And then we're going to get back and get to work, because we're 0-0 now. Throw all the records out. It's so cliche, but we're starting 0-0. We have to think about now going 1-0.
Coach, what's your message to the fans?
Sorry?
What's your message to the fans?
Well, I think first, I can't speak for the team. I'll let the team speak for themselves. But as a coach, knowing that fans are there to cheer on our players, not only at home but on the road, to bring that energy maybe when we got a little bit of doubt or we're not really sure, and to have that little pick-me-up. The way the schedule fell this year, some nights you're going to blow it out in attendance and some nights you're not, but no matter what, it was loud. It was loud in there. I don't know what the attendance was, but it was loud. So I think that's, Leah mentioned that for packing, she talked about packing this place. It's packing it with energy, packing it with, love for this team. And so I thank the fans. This was an experiment. We didn't know what this was going to look like when we started in January. And I think it's been a very exciting experiment to watch grow and start to take root. And, I think we're putting ourselves in a wonderful position now for a foundation that we can build on in the future. This is not going to be a one and done. This is going to be a thing. And I know I can't speak for them, but I'm really proud to have been at the ground level of this.
My question is for the players. So Coach mentioned, you represent the city. I noticed each game out of 10, the girls are in line, they want an autograph. What does this mean for the city of Atlanta as well as girls?
Man, I don't even know. Well, first, I'm extremely grateful to be here, right? I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to play in front of them and be someone that they can look up to. When I go up there and I see all their faces jumping, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I just feel like, you can. You can. You can. And I feel like for so long, because pro volleyball wasn't in the United States, it was a you can, And we're changing the narrative to you can. You can go play college. You can go D1. You can play pro in the United States, where you were born, in front of your friends, in front of your family. And I am so thankful to God that we have that opportunity to do that now. So it's you can. And I can't wait to scream that to the top of my lungs.
She said it perfectly. I don't think I can't top that, but yeah, it's something that we didn't have growing up. So for us to be able to be an example for young players aspiring to play as they grow up it's a dream come true, and we also have a lot of responsibility to make sure we set great examples for them. So everything that she said, I echo.
Question, how does it feel when you all go out into this stadium or arena and you see the crowd? It's exciting now. People are coming to the games. So how does that make you feel? You're not playing in an empty arena. The narrative, like you said, the narrative has changed with volleyball. So how does it make you all feel as pro players?
Sometimes I get the chills, like the goosebumps still, like when I go out and I see people cheering for us. I think that support means everything to us. To have people support this league and just support women's volleyball here in the U.S., it's amazing. We're paving a new way for this sport. Like, you've seen women's basketball just absolutely take off this March, and I think it's so hard to be what you can't see. So for us to have this league here in the U.S. and more fans coming to each game, it's incredible and something we're forever grateful for.
For me, it feels like when I walk out, it feels like I'm like getting a big hug from the distance, but like low key, because it's like for our arena personally, I can't speak for any other arena, but for our arena personally, like you can feel the love. Like even when we're not winning, even when we're losing, like they're still trying to give to us, you know? They're not taking at all. And so whenever I go out there and I see all the fans, or I just feel the fans, I don't even gotta look up. Half the time I don't even look up, but I can feel the energy and I feel like I'm getting a hug, and just know that I'm giving it back. I'm giving it back.
Typically, I sit in the locker room until about 10, 15 minutes before the match, and I can feel the roar just slowly build up from that 30-minute mark leading into that 15-minute mark. And then when I'm out on the bench, you can feel it start to boil up, and you know it's going to be a fun night with the crowd, because I know the responsibility that they all take to want to go out and perform well and be great examples and play hard, and so I know that we're going to give that crowd a show.
All right, so how we always love to end this show, the usual, what is on your mind? I will start us off. Playoff hockey, and we have to talk about the Bruins, baby, because Big B's fan here. Not only do we get it done in 7 against the Leafs, we whooped on the Panthers last night, just whooped them at home. So the Bruins are up 1-0, and I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. Love playoff hockey. Love the Boston Bruins. I'm going to brag about them on Sports Tonight whenever I can. What do you got, Ellie?
So this is nowhere near sports related, but it has been on my mind.
Okay.
So if you know me, I love video games, both my first and middle names since transitioning. I am a trans woman. Both my first and middle names are taken from video game characters. And one of my favorite games of all time is a game called Hades. Its sequel dropped in early access last night. And Bailey, what do you think the ratio of sleep to playtime was last night?
I don't think you slept at all last night. But I don't even know what this game is. What is the basis of this game?
It's a roguelike. It's a game revolving around Greek mythology. It's an action game.
Okay.
I love the first game.
Okay.
The second is going to consume my life. Oh my God, I put 6 hours in last night.
6 hours?
And
did you take any breaks
yes.
during that 6 hours?
Yes.
Like, did you eat food?
Yes.
Did you breathe oxygen?
But this game is, and it's in early access, and it's going to be in early access for a year. So I'm going to be at this one for a long time. And I just needed to talk about it because I love this thing
Because
already.
you're excited about it. Just like I'm excited about Bruins hockey. You're excited about a video game. I am not a gamer, so I don't know a whole lot about video games. I will say this. When I spent time with the Atlanta Dream yesterday, they have some gamers on that team. Leisha Gray and Ariel Powers love to game, and they actually will go through practices, and they'll be like, hey, we're going to go get dinner, and then you want to get online at 5? And they're like, yeah. So I think they said they play Fortnite. I want to say one of them called Call of Duty and then 2K. So that's what they prefer. I did not hear Hades. That's what it's called, right? But I love that for you. We love excitement. That will do it for this edition of Sports Tonight. For Ellie Parker, I'm Bailey Burmaster. Make sure to join us tomorrow for your Wednesday edition. Have a great night.